long as nobody's. Slow. Yeah, you got 1 minute.
Call to order the Inland Township Planning Commission regular meeting agenda for April 2026. Call to order. First of all, pledge allegiance. Stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, quick little roll call.
Kramer,
Here.
Handy,
Here.
Nelson,
Present.
Truzax.
Here.
I would like to move into public comment. Before we do, a couple things to read here. Any person wishing to address the planning commission may do so once per public comment period. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and shall be addressed to the chair and not individual commission members or others in the audience. The planning commission is not required to comment or respond to presenters. Silence or non-response from the planning commission should not be interpreted as disinterest or disagreement by the planning commission. With that said, is there any public comment? Like to move to approve our agenda?
I'll second.
Motion carried. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I do have a comment there that our package did not include the meeting minutes. They are on the agenda here to take action on, but I brought copies and have provided them to each of you. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This must have been one of these games.
Best.
that's where that came from. So we'll likely need to take just a brief moment and actually review them before we take action on them.
Go ahead and move to approve of March 23 meeting minutes. Is that what we're doing?
Yep, I see no changes that are necessary, so I would move to approve.
I would agree.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
And just so you know, I do share the minutes with the board. So the board saw these minutes. It was included in their packet at their meeting last Monday.
And they were posted, properly posted within 5 days of our last meeting, so the public has had an opportunity as well. They just weren't in our packet.
Do we have any conflict of interest?
I don't.
No. Anybody? Unfinished business, Sarah Kirk. Not here tonight.
But this,
There wasn't very much there. I think she's pretty close to being wrapped up. I think it's.
Got an approval, huh?
We got an approval, we got this out.
We got a new master plan, so yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Well, we got a plan anyway.
Right. Now we gotta execute it.
Absolutely.
the draft is available for public review at this point.
So is that the stage we're in right now?
That's the stage we're in, so it is being reviewed at this point.
Right, we got,
by
that's
the public.
quite a long time, yeah. Good though.
So, under new business, we have appointments of chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Mhm. So I would offer myself as chair, but then that opens secretary, and I kind of feel like we just got a rhythm going with the secretary role.
I'm good
So,
with this.
I
If
don't
you're good,
know.
I'm not gonna be any good as a secretary, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like to keep it the way it is.
the way it is,
Yeah,
For now,
another year.
a whole nother year, or do we want
Well, I thought
me
we
to do
started at
double
the beginning
double
of the year,
duty,
didn't we?
or
January 1st, or
what do we?
isn't that when we start?
So the bylaws say, at the April meeting.
Oh, okay. So this is our beginning of our year? What else would be all right, but
Do we have to have indiv- one person in each role?
So it's a good question. In the
Mhm.
past, we have had one person that served as vice chair and secretary.
Vice
planning
chair
commission.
and secretary?
there has to be a vice chair in case the chair isn't here.
Right,
Correct.
so,
And the secretary thing is really,
yeah. Once we got going, this is good.
Mhm.
the stuff on the
Yeah.
door is so important.
Our paperwork is what's.
So
Yeah.
you
Give
could
me,
make a motion with a slate of who you want for chair, vice chair, and secretary. Vote on it, or you could make a motion with a slate if you're entertaining the idea of one person wearing two hats. You could have a slate that way.
I would like to leave it the way it is for this meeting and have a discussion about where we're going from here in 30 days. I am on the diving board, ready to jump, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I definitely want to be a part of the township and just want to do my part. Uh, However, I believe this person sitting to my right is very much more qualified than me to sit here. And I would much rather sit there, but I'm not a very good secretary either, so. Let's just talk about this for the next 30 days and maybe we'll make a move in the next meeting. Is everybody all right with that?
do we wanna table it then?
Is that what we're
Till
doing?
next time, or do you wanna do a slate and then vote on it? Slate to keep what we've got.
Let's slate it and vote on it and
Okay.
then, well, wait a minute. It would be better to table it at this point in case it changes, would it not?
Yeah, cause if we vote on it tonight, then we're not gonna vote on it again until next year.
Right, let's table it. I want to table this until the May meeting. We need to vote on that.
Well, I think if it's a motion to table, I will second it.
It is a motion to table. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Aye. Carried.
Sounds good.
Let's move to special use permit.
Okay, so I believe Kyle's here to represent the Heart Old Lakes Church. They have been on this property since, I believe, 2015. They have an active campground going there, including pavilions and a bathhouse with showers, from what I understand. And they were looking to have us give them the okay with their special land use permit to have a private campground at that location, which is on 15357 Homestead Road, and that's actually Thompsonville. So they're off to the very end of Homestead Road, as far east as it'll go till it goes to non-maintained.
You currently have people camping here now?
No, we do on certain weekends of the year, but only like.
And you want to open this up for camping,
Yes,
regular campground?
we don't want it to be public. We just want to bring our church people.
It's from your church?
I believe the issue was, as I talked to Amy Van Zant, she told me that every year they have to apply with the state for permits to even camp there. And so this would alleviate that problem. They have to be okayed through the township in order to continue to do that without permits from the state of Michigan.
It's currently zoned residential. Is this gonna be affecting any of the neighboring people around there at all?
It's already been a campground since 2015,
Okay.
so I don't believe so.
I don't believe it would be either then.
And under section 6.4 of the zoning book, they can't apply for this, and you can have a private campground as long as it's okayed by the township on
Okay.
a special land use.
I was just gonna ask you that. So the pavilion, proposed pavilion,
They've already had the pavilion, they're just looking for the okay.
oh, all right.
Those are all things that they had done previous, so I gave you some history on that when I sent the packet.
So your bathhouse is already there?
That's why that section is dated 2018.
Correct.
Okay, that's the previous request.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know why we would have had them go through all of that and not give them this in the beginning.
I don't think they approached us with it.
We were working with the Eagle and, we were all. So we've been pulling permits. We're trying to get a yearly permit, which is $350 from the state, but we have to come to this first to get you guys to approve that before we can go to the state to proceed down that path. And so this is kind of first step in trying to get that license from them. Yeah.
I don't either. I mean,
I'm okay with it, it's a private.
It's private, I mean, and it's been there.
Here.
It's been in existence now for,
How many people or
private
how
campground,
big can
yeah.
it get? So is there any?
Believe it's in there.
I believe you're at is it 8 acres over there?
Yeah, we're on
That's what he's requesting.
Planning on it.
We're not planning on expanding. We're neighbors, or we're landlocked with our neighbors. We have a good relationship with all neighbors. We try to be a good part of the community up here.
What would you expect? I mean, how many would you think you would expect to have?
We have about 100 people come up when we come up, well, anywhere from about 30 to 100, depending on the business of the year. During COVID, this was the only place open in the world, so we had a few more come up, but it was just a great.
but you've been doing this, right? You've been.
Yeah, I've been doing this
you've
since
had
2015.
You haven't had no complaints,
I
obviously.
just don't see any problem with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I took a ride over there and checked out the area. It's nice. They have it set up really
As
nice.
long as it, yeah, keep it private.
Want to pass it?
Sure.
So here's the
6.4
ordinance that
reference.
Mike cited.
Here, I have some here if you'd like, I can pass it on.
I've read through that. Yeah, the one you just had.
Thanks, Mike. So it's in there.
It's updated for you.
All right, thank you.
Well, sorry, that's motion.
Yeah. As far as this goes.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So with regards to an approved special use permit, we will have to have a hearing of the public.
So a hearing for the public, when does that happen then?
We should schedule it for our very next meeting, our May meeting, May 19th.
We're not changing the zoning.
Yeah, but but I believe for every special use permit that's approved, there's still a hearing of the public that is required.
I see. Okay.
All
I'm
right,
not aware of that, but all right.
so let's get that scheduled for them. How do we do that?
I'll double check it.
Put
If
it on
I'm
the
wrong,
agenda.
I'll let everyone
I
know.
know for
but-
sure when you're zoning, there has to be letters sent out to the public when you're doing a zoning change, but.
Yeah, so that's 300 feet or contiguous properties, and you're right, a letter has to go out.
Do if there's
But a
a.
special use permit just requires a hearing of the public,
but
so
then
we
what do
just
we
have
do
to have
if
a
there's
moment.
a Complaint,
I see. All
if
right.
we already approved it, what are we gonna do if there's a complaint?
Listen,
Yeah, but we already approved it. So we
The
can't take
complaint
that
wouldn't-
back.
Yeah, but the complaint won't come to us, I don't believe. I think
Alright.
that goes to the
So
board.
you're just gonna put it out in the public on the website then, Ted, or is that gonna go out via letters?
no, it wouldn't be via letter, it's just like we're
Notice.
Just a notice.
making we're announcing next month's meeting, right? So we'll just post it on the door. It can be on the website too,
So just on the agenda is okay?
on the
Or-
agenda.
Right.
Yep.
Not a separate posting.
But we'll put a separate posting. I'll go ahead and do it just to make sure that i's are dotted and t's are crossed. And again, I'll do some homework. And if I'm wrong on that, I'll let everyone know. But we'll err on the high side that special use permits
require,
We've added that to our agenda for next month then. You know, I don't think we need you guys here. I think this is our issue,
Okay.
and we're gonna get you your campground. So,
Thank you very much.
thanks for coming down.
As a clarifying matter, on March 23rd, we approved a special use permit. My understanding, based on this, would be that we would need to then also include that on
Okay.
our
let me,
April.
Investigate that.
yeah, let me follow up on that. And you might, right, we might bundle both of them together.
Mhm.
Excuse me, if you do a public hearing, it does have to be put in the newspaper as well.
Well, I got some paperwork. You
Okay.
can sit for the rest of the meeting if you like, or you can.
It has to be 10 to 30 days before the hearing.
What local newspaper would that go in? Times or Patriot? That's all we have to.
Yeah, that's the same place where the, draft master plan is going.
All right, are we good with that?
For today?
We'll stop by and see that.
I'll take view of our capital improvement plan.
So I'll take this, John, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
So since I didn't know if I was gonna be here on time or not, I put together a little cover letter. So I'll just go ahead and go over the cover letter. What you have in front of you tonight is a draft capital improvement plan, really intended as a starting point for this group. It is a responsibility in our bylaws to prepare a capital improvement plan, and it is something that the board does need. So I'll continue. As you know, under our township bylaws, the planning commission is responsible for preparing and recommending a capital improvement plan. This is my attempt to get something on paper, so we're not starting from scratch, but this is very much your document to shape and refine. So I started working on this a while ago as we started working on our budget at the board level. And so again, when I say start from scratch, but I didn't want to show up today and say, hey, everyone, we got to start working on a capital improvement plan. What do you think? So couple quick points. Year one is tied directly to our approved 2026 fiscal budget. So that piece should feel familiar and look grounded in what you've already, or will commit to. Years 2 through 5 are best estimates, just based on known needs, replacement cycles, and just some assumptions out there. So there's plenty of room for adjustment, and that's where I'm gonna say, feel free, right? So take a look at this and I'm asking for, like, when we come back in May, to have like a follow-up conversation on it. And just take a look at each of the tables that are in there and the main areas, and you may say, hey, you totally missed this, or you're way off on that. So that's kind of the feedback. I did work with our fire chief on some schedules with regards to apparatus, gear, suits and stuff like that. There is an asset list that was shared with me, but that's from 2023 to 24. So it's a year old. So it helped give me some assumptions on, what we have in terms of asset sets and what needs to be looked at going forward. So as I mentioned a moment ago, just take this home, take a look at it. What are we missing? What doesn't look quite right? How do we make this better? So, and I'll just walk through the pages there. So, the purpose, the states, what the capital improvement plan is for, the definition of the capital plan, and then I worked in there what some of the items were from the asset list. And those are found in page 2, so the buildings, the fire department, cemeteries. We also have to think about our office and technology, computer systems, software, hardware, whatnot. Section 3B Future development sites, that's the 30 acres that we have on Lake Ann and 31. So that's 30 acres that sits there, which was originally purchased by a previous board with the intention of building a fire department and a hall. It may not be what we do going forward, but the fact of the matter is still an asset that we have. That sits over there. Section 4 breaks down the actual capital improvement plan. Yeah, share with you, this is just me personally. And taking things we want to do. Some of the things I've heard the board discuss and some of the things that we talked about as a board with regards to our budget. So, buildings and facilities, fire department. Actually, as you walk across left to right, it talks about the project, what the description is, what priority, year, and then the funding source. So try to incorporate what it is, what's it gonna do, where does the money come from? Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec, so I'll talk about that a little bit. So the board did approve in the budget for this fiscal year, a sum of money for the Parks and Rec to address benches, fields, stuff like that. That will be up to the Parks Committee to decide, but some of it just based on things that I've heard in terms of basketball court, baseball diamond, stuff like that.
Well, I remember in one of the early meetings, 4 or 5 months ago, I had to go back and look in my folders, I can find it. But there were some safety concerns over at the Inland Township Park concerning the pedestrians and the Frisbee golf course, the disc thing. We got holes that go perpendicular, so you could be walking and gets hit in the side of the head with a Frisbee. These are not anything you want to get hit with. And so there was that and a few other things that were brought up in that meeting that needed to kind of be repaired or addressed at that facility. And so that would be something I would want to know if, the money we have allocated in here, are we gonna try to fix those things? I guess would be my question, if that was, I have to go back and look.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
No,
what
I
started
think
there.
you're spot on with that.
So, but there were other things too that were in that meeting that needed to be addressed or paid for, or to some degree brought to the forefront. And I think you would think that was budgeted or not.
Yeah. Yep, so like safety, surface improvements might fall underneath that, or it might be another line item. But, it's enabling or having a capital improvement plan that enables the Parks Commission or committee to have something to lean on and the board to say, hey, we need to allocate funds for that in whatever year it is. But you're going down the right path.
I'll go look, and I have a folder for every month I've been involved here, so I'm sure I can find it. It's the only thing I did right.
Sure you did lots. You've done lots.
The cemeteries, as I mentioned, office and tech. And then road village, I included that in there, what it is, where's the money come from? And then section 5 just outlines the priority. This is one where I would like everyone's eyes on it. I mean, I might have something as low priority, maybe it's the walking trail, we'll just pick on that one for a moment. Maybe it's listed here as low priority, we agree, it's not low priority, it's high priority.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
that's where extra eyes will really be helpful. Funding sources, just that way we all know and the public knows what's the funding sources that Inland Township's gonna use. So we have a general fund, we have a fire fund and a fire equipment fund. There's 2 different funds. We have a road millage, a general operating millage, the fire operations and equipment millages, and there's also grants that we could see. So those are funding sources. Section 6A just goes into that a little bit more in terms of how the funds can be used and whether or not they're restricted. Here's one that I did want to chat about section 7, the capital improvement plan review and adoption process. So the planning commission is the one responsible for building the capital improvement plan. So we review it, we update it, this will be ongoing. And then we recommend to the board the capital improvement plan. It would be the board then that would approve a capital improvement plan.
So are we gonna we're gonna massage next year's budget again next year, right?
Next year.
This is just an estimated guess. Right now. Years 2 through 5.
Yeah, yes. So, I mean, as you move along, then things get
We're
firmer.
not etching it in stone, but we're starting to carve on it a little bit.
So a capital improvement plan is just a plan.
All right.
So it's a guideline. It provides guidance to the board.
To the board.
And it tells the community what we're planning on doing with the monies that either we have in our funds or we're receiving through millages. So it's to give visibility to the community as well as guidance to the board and the committees that, and as well as the planning commission, what those monies can be used for.
The board will adjust this as well, right?
I
They'll make
suspect they
their own
will. I
adjustments
suspect they
after
will.
us, so we
Yeah.
don't, we're not
Yeah.
final say on any
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
All right.
There is one appendix, and that's for the fire apparatus and equipment replacement schedule. And there's one table there, and really there's only two things in the next 5 years. And that would be the tanker replacement and then bottle replacement, or the SCBA is self-contained breathing apparatus. And then,
No, they gotta breathe.
yeah, and in the middle of that page, funding strategy, again, more for the community, but also for everyone here to know too, that over $100,000 goes into the fire equipment replacement fund every year. And obviously that will tick up every year as property values increase too, right?
Yep, yep. Well, the cost of the equipment will also be picking up,
Exactly right.
so.
And I think that's pretty much, yeah, that pretty much is my quick overview. Again, I've been working on this for a while.
Quite together here,
It's
Ted.
something that the community is asking from the board
Is there
to have.
punishment here if I don't follow all these rules? That's very well done.
Well,
Very well done.
but and thank you for that, but I would really appreciate, a good hard look at it too. And then, for lack of a better word, a homework assignment, we'll put it on the agenda again for next month. And then again, if you see, hey, you totally missed, pick something, Bendon Hall, and I'll just pick on Bendon Hall for a moment. You totally missed Bendon Hall, well, that'd be a big oversight, right? So we'll want to do that. Or something needs to be ratcheted up to high priority versus low. Any questions or anything?
We put that on the agenda for next month then? Second, would it be called the second, would we vote on this?
No, this is just,
Information.
yeah, informational only.
So we'll have our second review. All right, let's move to our second public comment. Any other items to come before the commission?
I'll take this one too, John. Data center background materials, just so you know, data centers from the Michigan Township Association is a hot topic. There's a 3-day conference right now, started today, tomorrow. There's a whole session tomorrow on data centers. So it's a hot topic. It's actually on the cover of this month's Township Focus. So I made a copy for everyone there. That way you can take a look at it and read the article. But it's such a hot topic that I happen to be on an emailing list for Casson Township. This just came out Saturday. in Casson Township. There's a 200-acre parcel in Casson Township that the real estate firm is listing as a data center development site. So, and you're familiar with Casson Township, I'm sure. Their planning commission meeting is tonight, and they expect standing room only at their planning commission meeting because of this ad that went out. So I only include this to say, this is pretty close to us. It's only 2 townships north.
Project, I'm okay.
And this is what real estate companies are doing to market. So, and it also says flexible zoning. So, I mean, it's just heads up for us as a planning commission that we should have an eye on data centers going forward. I'll be certain to attend the session tomorrow. And then there was another session that I attended online. So I got permission from the MTA to print hard copy and provide it to the planning commission members. So it does say at the bottom that we need to,
Are you,
okay.
you're saying we need to propose some rules
we might.
around these things?
So we might, and the first thing they're talking about doing is having an ordinance for a moratorium. But the moratorium isn't merely just kicking the can down the road saying, oh, if somebody shows up, they've got 180 days and you buy 180 days. We have to actively work on.
So these things are big electrical.
Water.
Yeah, they
Definitely
take a lot of energy to
We
run.
don't have any
They're
room
brand
for
new.
that. We just say
I
no.
have family down in Texas,
We shouldn't do it.
down near Houston, and you can tell them there's one going in down there.
If it's an organization.
Not
I guess
that
you should say
great.
so.
They have, there's a lot of
Yeah,
problems
put it
with this,
in zoning,
from what I understand. They make noise, they vibrate the ground, evidently. You hear humming sounds from these things. Anyways, we'll review that.
So I just want, so again, no decision now,
No.
just a FYI, because I'm seeing a lot of, again, it's on this month's cover story.
How does this tie into our proposed zoning ordinance consultant?
So it's a great question and a great lead into that. So again, as the guy who sits on both the board and here, I just want to make you aware that when the board approved the budget for 2026-27, they put some money in the budget for the planning commission to take a look at some ordinances. Mike and I talked a couple of days ago, and Mike is of the opinion that as we move and adopt this master plan, that our ordinances do need to be looked at and updated. So that B on there was more just your guy from the board saying, oh, by the way, we have money in our budget. But also it's a good conversation for us to have, especially when, when Mike says, hey, we might have some ordinance out there that may not be as up to date now with the new master plan that we should pursue that.
So if funding is approved,
And it-
what's
and
the
it-
next step in that process?
I would say, looking for a consultant or interviewing a
So
consultant.
who's writing the RFP?
So no one is now because this is the first time that we're talking about it.
Okay,
It's an RFP.
request for proposal,
And so,
professionals.
And and just to be fair, it's $20,000 that's in that line item.
Okay.
For ordinance review. So. And so if, I feel like if we have some sort of consensus, then maybe the next step is looking at, a request for bid.
yeah, I think that's absolutely gotta happen.
Yeah.
And especially concerning the data centers. A 200-acre plus site, I mean, how many
I know.
200-acre
Yeah.
sites do we have in Inland Township that would even be
Yeah, it's just-
I
considered?
don't know, how much do they need? I mean, that just happens to be, that's what's for sale.
Arizona. Why would you sell your property to someone from, a company from Arizona? I'm sure somebody locally would have bought it.
Right, they would have, yeah.
I don't know why they would even do that.
Right.
The state could also.
Well, they could put it anywhere. Yeah, they got all the land. Sure,
Lots.
sure. They could do it. Yeah, definitely. But there is like legislature, the state wants to put a moratorium on data centers. It's in legislature, but it hasn't gone anywhere, but.
You can't really do
So
that.
it's-
I mean, you're gonna, if you do that, you got 1 foot on the dock and 1 foot in the boat. You gotta go with the AI thing, I think. I mean, it's.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I
We
know.
gotta
I'm
go
not
with
there
it.
either,
A
but-
piece of this
I
conversation
think we're
that
gonna
we
get it
need
shoved down our throat.
is what our ordinance say is allowed on properties in this township. That's
Township.
what's within our control.
That's what we gotta
We
look at.
can't make the state law, we can't control who
Right,
sells what
right.
property to who.
Yeah, we gotta protect the township.
But we can control what our ordinances say is allowable here.
They'd like to be up here for our aquifer.
Is that what the big attraction is?
100%.
Underground water?
There's lots of it. They'll wreck it though.
Sure. Oh,
We
that's
have
what they
water
say.
here, they love that part.
Yeah. Well, they don't care. They don't.
They
yeah,
don't
they're not,
care.
They're
They'll
not gonna
just
live
go
here.
on with it. They really will.
Yeah, this
Um,
realtor from Arizona doesn't, yeah, they're not gonna care.
So we've got some stuff to review,
Yeah, it's
capital
interesting.
improvement plan and the data center between now and our next meeting, and let's have another conversation about the data center and move this forward in the next meeting. Either to review, but also too, I wanna also look at the ordinances as well. There's no sense in kicking that can down the road.
How do we
Let's
do
just
it?
move
Ordinance,
on.
through ordinance or zoning to prevent?
Yeah.
The data centers.
Yeah.
Or at least regulate them to a certain point.
Well, we just don't want it. Obviously, we don't want it.
We don't want them.
So
Don't
there's,
want 'em.
Not here.
what I'm hearing is that there's some strong opinions here at this table of certain ordinances that we definitely want to dive deep into. So that's gonna kind of play into who the selection of that consultant is. Ultimately, that's gonna be a board decision because it's board.
Well, isn't Sarah, isn't she, does that too? No, I thought she was talking about something else. She wasn't.
I could be mistaken, but I've asked her about
Okay, you talked to her
reviewing
then?
ordinances and it's
Maybe
not
the
her
zoning,
words, but not in her.
maybe
wheelhouse.
she was into zoning or something. I know she said something that she could help us with in the future.
But so I don't know if there's a possibility to review that RFP before it comes out to, give input on what skills we need in that zoning ordinance consultant. But, I'd love to be a part of that
Yeah, I mean,
conversation, and I think that would be a beneficial conversation for this board to have.
it would,
So-
but we also need to figure out too, seeking first to understand, I guess, would be the first thing. What ordinances do we need
This is
to-
for all ordinances, review all zoning ordinances.
That's what I'm talking about.
Across the board.
There are a few zoning ordinances that will need a lot of attention.
Right.
And there's many zoning ordinances that we can just slide right on through, because
Right.
we're not gonna change those.
Right.
And so that would be the first part of that, seeking first to see which ones we need to work with, and then from there, I guess, divvy up what we need to get done there, and then present that to the board for that approval that you were just asking about, and just say, hey, this is what we intend to do with this time.
Mhm.
We're gonna take these and move them over here. Mike, you'll be part of this whole thing too.
I'll help.
And we'll come through and then we'll just go to the board and say, these are the ordinances that we feel we need to work on. And this is the work we wanna do to them, and this is how much time we need, and this is how much money we need. They approve it, we move through, and we'll already kind of be in play then. We can now just move to the problem areas within those ordinances and adjust them how we see fit, and then represent that back to the board. That's how that works, right?
Possibly. I don't know, and I don't know what the board's intention is as far as if this funding is approved. Does the board kind of hand that RFP process over to the planning commission that's really gonna be doing the work here? Or do we
Yes,
go back and forth? How does this,
that's how that works. They'll approve the monies
okay,
that we ask for. But I don't really just wanna go there and say, hey, I need 20 grand to review it. I wanna say, this is what we're gonna do.
That's
Yeah,
why
let's
I
have-
liked where you were going a moment ago. with
Yes,
What is
it
it that
was.
the planning commission
What do
is looking for?
Right.
How do you wanna build that request for bid?
honestly, Bill, I was trying to add to that.
Yeah.
Is all I was doing there. You kind of already brought it up. But that, going back to it, if we just seek first to understand, then to be understood, it always works better for me. And then it'll also give me some time to get in there and look at some of these zoning ordinance with Mike, because I have not done that. I can't wait to read those.
There's just a lot of language change that'll have to happen with the new master plan to match up.
Is our current, were they adopted from another township or anything? How did we arrive at them? Do you have any idea?
Not really sure. I'm sure they were legally written by somebody.
Okay.
I know they changed it in 2016 and then again in 2020,
Oh, all right.
as they have to.
Okay. Well, anything else?
I would say one other thing, so May 18th is the next zoning meeting. There's a zoning primer class being held in Harbor Springs. You're already signed up for it, so you won't be here for the next planning commission
Oh, you
meeting.
know what? I am also signed up. I kind of changed that date.
So that's what I was gonna bring up, is
Sorry
that
about that.
if you're gonna follow through on that, then the three of us would have to make sure that we're here. That way that way
At the
we
same
have.
time.
There was another one that I could attend though, if I remember.
There's two other ones.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna
There's one in
switch
Van
that.
Buren and then there's one in Frankenmuth for the same zoning primer meeting. So that's, I just wanted to bring that up to make sure that we're all level set on that date.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right, well, I move to adjourn.
Second.
We got a second? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming, everybody. Good.
So, me and Ben sat down with Courtney, the attorney, pretty quick.